Hey everyone, this is Kit Cabela with Hardlens Media. As you know, we are covering this 2020 election cycle and we're interviewing a lot of congressional candidates, Senate candidates that are going to be up for election. And of course, look, we have to make sure that we have a progressive and independent new United States Congress and Senate. And there's a lot of people out there that want to bring in change. And today, live in the studio, we have a special guest, Dr. Ameena Matthews, who's running in the first congressional district here in the state of Illinois.
Yes.
So this district is basically, the current incumbent is Bobby Rush. So I think what a lot of our viewers and subscribers want to know is, why are you challenging Bobby Rush for this, for his congressional seat?
Why not? You know, the first congressional district is a little under 100 miles, 97.6 miles. And out of that 100 stretch, 75 of it is in deep disparity. And those key components of education and the bare necessities of housing, at least,
Right.
water, food, he is not providing. He's had an amazing run. You know, he's been the congressman for 24 years and the alderman from that. So he's had a good run, but I feel as the congresswoman of the first district, I know that I can bring something that hasn't been there for the last 18 years, which is adequate education, healthy food, bringing up the lower class, the economic stability of our grassroots organizations that has helped build the machine for so many decades.
Okay. So what a lot of our viewers and subscribers may not know is that you are an activist and a community organizer. If we rewind back the clocks in 2012, you were even on the Colbert Report where you were a part of a documentary called Violence Interrupter, and you're trying to stop violence from happening in the city of Chicago and a lot of impoverished areas in the city of Chicago. So can you just let us know just a little bit about that, like your work involved in that, and how has that helped you build experience to bring that into this congressional race?
Well, you know, working as a violence interrupter, especially a female, African American, Muslim violence interrupter, you know, I feel as if that is my purpose. I know that that is my purpose. As a Muslim, we leave place better than we found it. Submitting their will to the Creator and making things beautiful. So in 2006, I was forced to be in the position of working for a ceasefire. It's called Cure Violence now, I think. Helping a single mother household of 2 boys going to a Catholic school and being bullied and not being able to have the food that she needs to make sure that her son is on the football team and her other son gets the resources that was later diagnosed as autism in the 9th grade. So the oldest brother was gang affiliated, but he was not wanting to be active, and the guys were bullying his brother. So what was he gonna do? A mom called me and said, mom called someone and they called me and said, hey, can you help my son? He just walked out of the house with a AK-47 and he's in the 10th grade. And who gets that at the 10th grade age, get those type of weapons of mass destruction? So that was when it all really actually began for me on the deep streets. I grew up in the first district.
Yeah.
I grew up in Inglewood. I grew up on the east side of Chicago. I am a Chicagoan. I was born and raised here. I went to elementary school here. My grandmother would come from down south to have humble beginnings and better living from Mississippi, and here we are in disparity in the first district. And for me, it's a no-brainer. If we're going to continue to complain about something and change is not coming from a person or something that we are investing in or I'm investing in,
Right.
then I need to do something about it. So I know at this point, at the stage of this game, I know I am the better candidate that knows exactly what the first district needs, wants. This is the people's movement.
Now, some of the issues that you're fighting for, and these are some things that really, really stuck out to me, is that you are calling to basically end the school to prison pipeline, removing private prisons, and bring in criminal justice reform. So, can you just explain to us in detail how you're planning on proposing that should you potentially win in this congressional race?
Well, in detail, I cannot explain to you in detail. As we move forward for this congressional run, as we move forward to win this race, I have a comprehensive plan to make sure that we all know about the lack of education to mass incarceration. We know about that pipeline. We know how that was set up for our young people to fail in life. And I am the candidate to say no more. You know, how much, to me, of genocidal acts in the United States of America, especially Chicago, that we have to keep defending on, this is going to stop one day, this is going to stop one day, this is going to stop one day. We already know what the prisons, especially our federal prisons, are making, and our state prisons are making as well. For me, it's a no-brainer to teach a young man and a young woman the bare necessities of getting their high school diploma and hoping and praying that they can go further on into their career of wherever it may be, that they can go there safe, they can go there without a debt, and they can go there without any choices to have a ball in one hand or a gun in another and be told to shoot your way up out of. That's not fair.
Right. So in regards to education, because this is very important, a lot of our viewers, we've told them time and time again that the city of Chicago is a hyper-segregated city, and unfortunately under Rahm Emanuel, 54 Chicago public schools were shut down. Essentially, what has been the impact, especially in the first congressional district, in regards towards a lot of the public schools losing funding or being shut down in that area? What has been the consequences and repercussions of Rahm Emanuel's decision to do that?
Well, you know, as we all know, under Rahm Emanuel's regime, what happened then, we know that it needs to stop now. We know that we are speaking today, that our teachers, our children are going to be unprotected. And it should not be an issue that the people that are with our children the most are being mistreated the worst.
Right.
And our children are, so it's a no-brainer. Why not fund special education? Because it has been disrespected for so long with pedophiles and being mistreated in the school systems. Give some support and what is needed, because what will happen if there is a child that wants to learn and they're not getting that bare necessity of just mentorship, they're going to be out there in the street and they're going to be ending up in front of a judge because it's killed or be killed, or I need to eat. Right. So under Mayor Lightfoot's decision, I know that she would make the right decision. I know, as her being a mother of an African-American female, and how greatly is education needed to her, as well as to the mayor, how education was given to her. I would hope that she would look at the youth and the despair in the poverty areas, that the shutdown of schools, the lack of budgeting, the misappropriation of funds in the education level, and leaving our children unprotected. I would hope that she would look at our children in the have-not areas, like she would look at her daughter in the position that she is now, to say, you know what, if my child was living in that condition, this is what I would do. I would fund public schools. I would make sure that DCFS has the fundamentals that they need to protect our children. I would make sure that CPD will do not just the best that they can, but do what is expected for serve and protect, and make sure that they also have an evaluation of psych eval as well, because
Okay.
mental health issues run deep, and it's, genetic, and it can be triggered by anything.
Right. So I think what a lot of viewers and subscribers will probably want to learn more about your community activism and more about your campaign. So
Yes.
where can they learn more about you online and on social media? Can you give us your campaign website?
Absolutely. Campaign website is AmeenaForCongress.org. Facebook is Ameena for Congress. I'm sorry. Let's do this again. The Facebook is Ameena Matthews for Congress.
Right.
And my webpage is AmeenaForCongress.org. And Instagram, The Real Ameena Matthews. I have office on, and Twitter as well, Ameena for Congress.
Right.
Please go on our page, donate, look and see if it's something that you want to jump in on and help this movement, because we're moving and it's time for change. And I believe that we, the people, can bring that change to the 1st Congressional District, as well as to Illinois, as well as international building alliances.
That's a perfect note to end on. Dr. Ameena Matthews, thank you so much for joining us here at
Thank
Hard
you
Lens
so
Media.
much for having me.
This is Kit. Peace, and let's all do what we can to build a
Peace.
better future.